Hello everybody and welcome back to Typical City. Huge news coming out regarding the future of Jeremy Doku, a player that we have been linked with for quite some time, but now the snowball effect is gathering pace and this ball is growing and growing, and the likeliness of Jeremy Doku being a Manchester City player come the end of the transfer window is increasing, and this makes me very happy. This comes from Fabrizio Romano. He is stating that the deal has taken advanced stages now. We are in the advanced verbal stages of the bid and the proposal that City are proposing to Stade Rennes. Now, this is supposed to be around 47 to 51 million pounds. You can work that out in euros for your own sake, but with regards to pounds, that is getting quite pricey, a little bit overpriced as far as I'm concerned. I think over 50 million pounds for a 21-year-old. It's getting a little bit on the pricey side. Huge talent, very capable, obviously a very capable player, and something that City don't have enough of, in terms of ability to take players on. I'm going to get into that a little bit later into the video, but for now I am a little bit concerned about how high this can go, because if this is just at the verbal stage of the negotiation, you wonder when a formal bid will be made. And should the verbal stage stop at 47 million, I think that's about my personal cap for a player of this age and this potential. It's an unknown quantity. He's only had a real proper season last season, and let's take a look at his stats for last season. 35 appearances, 1,615 minutes, 7 goals to his name and 4 assists to his name as well. But the issue for me that's positive in his in Jeremy Doku's favour is the fact that 19 of those 35 appearances were substitute appearances. So more than half of those appearances were coming off the bench, which is an infinitely harder task to impress and get goals and assists when you're coming off the bench. Having that impact isn't easy, and doing those, getting a 7 goals and 4 assists is not bad going at all. So I think he's got around 213 minutes, 215 minutes per goal to his name as well, which is really good. The issue as well, not just with the price that bothers me, I don't think it's too far overpriced. I think we're hitting that mark. In that region that City have proposed, I agree with that. Going beyond that now, it starts to get a bit silly. It's not proven enough to be getting into £55 million. And for £55 million, you could start looking at elsewhere for players and potentially get other talent for that amount, more proven talent for that amount. But I think that's the cap. The future is unknown for Jeremy Doku, and that's why I'm concerned about the price. Competition, reportedly, it's West Ham. They're the main competitors for the signing of Jeremy Doku, which isn't a club you normally expect to go toe-to-toe with it being Manchester City being the other competitors. You're expecting your Real Madrids and Chelsea's, and I mean, God knows, Chelsea, I'm sure they're going to come in a minute. In fact, I'm pretty sure I heard Liverpool are interested in signing Maguire, and Chelsea were like, I'm not falling for that one. But Chelsea, I wouldn't be surprised if they come knocking on Jeremy Doku's door soon. I haven't heard any links with Chelsea yet, but anyone who's in for a player, Chelsea are also in for them. But West Ham are the only concrete competitors, I believe, for Jeremy Doku's signature, which means he's going to pick us at the end of the day. Let's be honest. If City come knocking and West Ham come knocking, and you're a player who's got 15 years of football ahead of you, I'm pretty sure you know who you're going to pick. The only argument in West Ham's favour would be you're going to get more minutes at West Ham than you are at City. How many minutes is he going to get at City, and where is he going to play? How is he going to play? Because these are insights now that you're about to receive that you're not getting anywhere else. You're not getting the insights that I'm giving you anywhere else. So that's why you like and subscribe Typical City, because Kyle Walker's position is extremely interesting at the minute. And how we set up against Burnley, how we set up against Sevilla, and how we set up against Newcastle. Kyle Walker was our width in that game. Okay? So Jeremy Doku, where does he fit in? With the likes of Kovacic, Phil Foden, Alvarez, Rodri, all containing that midfield centre, and if any area of the pitch that they drifted towards the left-hand side of the pitch to give Kyle Walker the freedom of the grass, all the space in the world for him to burst into. Now, you put Jeremy Doku in. Are you thinking Jeremy Doku could play in Kyle Walker's position? Because he has played wing-back, Jeremy Doku. He can play in a wing-back role, not necessarily a full-back role, but a wing-back that's given the freedom to bomb it forward, potentially. So what does that mean for Kyle Walker? Now, ask yourself this. Are you getting those insights on any other YouTube channel? Are you? Are you? Probably not. Like and subscribe. But that's the question. Is he going to be an out-and-out winger? Or is he going to be dropping a bit deeper, playing in this new role that we're seeing Kyle Walker play? Because all game, Kyle Walker maintained the width. And going against Dan Burn, I would love to... It was said in the chat during the watch-along. If you haven't joined me in a watch-along so far, you're missing out. Come and join me on a watch-along. They're really, really fun. I've only just started doing them, and the numbers are great. The people in the chat are brilliant, all talking great tactics about City, and some of the insights that I'm getting off you guys is brilliant as well. As much as I'm trying to give you insights, you're giving me some, so I'm loving it. And Jeremy Doku versus Dan Burn was brought up, and that was just a mouth-watering prospect, because anytime we saw Kyle Walker or Phil Foden going down the wing against Dan Burn, the speed that the player had against Dan Burn was there for all to see. That not every left back in the Premier League is going to be as slow as Dan Burn, but Jeremy Doku's very, very likely to beat almost every player when it comes to the speed attributes and acceleration, top speed. He's there to beat most left backs in the Premier League. I can't think of many left backs that can genuinely contain Jeremy Doku. One thing I've seen from Jeremy Doku's skills is, I wouldn't call him, well, he's almost a one-trick pony. But now when I say that, it's not a trick you can stop, just because it's a one-trick pony. I've not seen anyone stop him do it yet. He's got this little wibbly-wobbly legs, hasn't he? He goes like wibbly-wobbly and then flicks it over onto the right-hand side. It's little feint, that little where they dangle the right leg, the leg they're about to use. They dangle it, wibbly-wobbly it, and then they flick it past you. And he's got this little shimmy and boom, and past you. What? Past you. Love it. It's such a good skill. And it's like, oh, you know what he's going to do. You watch 5 minutes of highlights of Jeremy Doku, you see the pattern forming. It's there for all to see. We can see clear as day that that's his go-to skill. Yeah, but it works every time, and it's like, how do you stop it? Because the raw speed and power that he has to burst past his fullback is incredible, and something we don't have in the City team. We've only really got Kyle Walker, who's an out-and-out speedster. We can't ask Kyle Walker to get forward because his crossing ability is mixed. I'd say half of them come off, half of them are below standard for what we need. Erling Haaland is going to be frustrated if we're asking Kyle Walker to be the crosser of a ball ahead of, Phil Foden, even Alvarez, Kevin De Bruyne, any player really. Kyle Walker is not the one you want supplying Erling Haaland. Jeremy Doku's end product is another area of his game that I want to see more of. I haven't seen enough of it to pass a concrete comment to actually state that, no, it's not good enough, his end product, or it's fantastic. I haven't seen enough of it. We need to see more of that, because he reminds me of Saint Maximum. He reminds me of Adama Traore. All the talent in the world, dribbling ability, pouring out of his ears, just non-stop talent. But that talent is dribbling. And what's his finishing ability? What are his assists like? What are his composure in front of goal? Can he stop dead? Can he relax his muscles as he's bursting full speed, top speed, all the way to the byline? When he gets to the byline, can he stop, relax his muscles, and get a little faint crossing right into the danger zone? Don't overhit it, smack it out for a throw-in, because we can't deal with that. That's not good enough. We need better than that. Adama Traore was one of the worst for that. Over his Wolves career, he slowly showed signs of little bits of improvement, and I think that's why Barcelona went in for Adama Traore, but even they couldn't improve his end product. And Saint Maximum, who was like on the cusp of being one of the greats, like what a player he looked like. All of a sudden he's gone to Saudi, and that's the end of his career almost in terms of stature in the game. In terms of money, it's not the end of his career, is it? But in terms of actual football accolades, you're finished, really. You're going to Saudi at such a young age. But with regards to Doku, that's the issue for me. End product and the price. How much are City going to have to go beyond the 47, beyond the £50 million mark? That's a concern for me. A player that I'm incredibly excited about. I'm almost certain we're going to sign him, because if West Ham are our competitors, I think the personal terms have already been agreed, I believe, with Jeremy Doku. So I think it's a done deal with regards to the player. Now we've just got to get the price established with Stade Rennes, and how much will that be? That's the big question. But Blues, are you happy with Jeremy Doku? I presume you are. What are your opinions on the player? Where do you think he's going to play? How do you think he's going to fit into this new system that Pep seems to be playing, where Kyle Walker is our width? Drop a like and subscribe. It would be hugely appreciated, and I'll see you in the next one.
This is typical City now.